Uh, Sit a little bit higher there, Carol Ann. Yeah, fold some blankets and just sit a little bit higher so your knees are the same level as your hips. Okay, take off any glasses. Adjust your thighs, inner thighs down, buttocks flesh out. And then make sure as you do that, that the thighs don't start to roll in. So you can also gently roll the thighs out and move the calf muscles forwards. And then just hold on to your knees for today without lifting up your knees. Pull back on the knees. And as you descend your thigh bones and your sitting bones, extend upwards through the sides of your trunk from the outer hips to the underarms. Keep your eyes softly open. And then keep that length on the sides of your trunk as you slide your hands back to the center of the thighs. Bring your outer shoulders back and move your shoulder blades forward into the back. And keep reaching up through the crown of the head from the pelvic floor. And then close your eyes and connect with your breath. And just like we notice, the weather outside before we leave our homes, just kind of check and see the weather inside yourself, the physical body today, your mental state, your emotional state, what you're bringing to your mat. It's difficult to move forward if you're not clear or a little bit more clear about where you are. Just have some compassion for yourself, whatever is arising in your experience today, and allow this practice of yoga to balance you out, to heal you, and to help you see more clearly your true, deepest self. Bring your hands to your heart center and lift the breastbone upwards. And as you bring your outer shoulders back, move the dorsal spine forward into the back. And then relax your face, the skin of your face over the bones. Soften your eyes back, away from the surface. Relax your jaw down. And relax deep inside your ears. Have a sense of surrendering your head into your heart, getting settled into your heart space. And please join me now for 3 ohms. Lift your chest upwards and bow your head downwards. Release your hands down to your thighs with your palms up. Raise your head and then slowly open your eyes. Okay, so just make sure to let me know if anyone's dealing with any issues I'm not aware of in your back or your neck or anything like that, or if anyone's on their period, let me know that as well. Okay, so those of you at home, move the short edge of your mat to your wall. Make sure your camera is located so I can see it. So move the short edge of your mat to the wall. You guys get your belt, and maybe Janice, you can show how to put the belt on the 2 top ropes with a really small tail. And then Tammy, you can use the bathroom door, or you can just have your downward dog with your heels at that wall. You can choose, because I can show you how to do it with the bathroom door, which is nice because then you can do that at home. Okay, so those of you at home, once you have your mat at the wall, the short edge of your mat all the way at the wall, have some blocks nearby in case you might need some blocks. So see how she has a really small tail. Denise is there in the black there, the second one over, a really small tail in the belt. And then you put the blanket over the belt, and then you'll take downward facing dog. Those of you at home, take downward dog with your heels at the wall. Your heels are going to be at the wall, your heels. And you can turn your hands about 45 degrees out. And we're going to do the ropes here in the room. So if you need, you can just do it with your heels at the wall. Just find any wall there. Jennifer, yeah, that's fine. And do downward dog with your heels at the wall. Those of you at home, if I hold too long for you, just, come down into child's pose, and then you can go back up. Have your heels a little bit up the wall. And then I'll show you how to use that. Well, you can use that one, that's fine. Did you make a loop in your belt? You'll make a loop in the belt and then come off this mat. It goes like at a diagonal. Okay, and then you just put this right on here. And you can have a blanket or not, I'll leave it to you. And that's just like a regular downward dog. You just bring this over to the top of your thighs, and then you come down and you walk your feet back, and you walk your hands forward. That's it. So walk your hands. Yeah, that's a nice way to do it at home. Those of you who don't have ropes at home. So make sure your heels are all the way back at the wall there, Carol Ann. So push your heels into the wall, everybody, or push them down towards the floor for you, Tammy. Does that feel okay, Tammy? And then just walk your hands forward. Isn't it kind of nice? So you can find a door that moves outwards into your room, and you can do it that way. And then those of you who have the ropes, just allow the ropes to hold you, to hold the top of the thighs, and then walk the hands further forward. Those of you without the ropes, press down into your hands. Everybody, straighten your arms. And those of you without the ropes especially, keep lifting your hips up. That looks good, Jennifer. Keep turning the tops of the arms out, deepen the breath. And then maybe over time, you can slide your heels a little bit further down and push them back, like you're pushing the heels down and back, heels down and back. Yes. Spread your fingers, deepen the breath. Good. And then slowly start to come forward. Walk your feet forward for Uttanasana. So those of you on the ropes, walk all the way forward to the middle of your mat. And you can choose to take your feet hip distance apart or mat distance apart. Use any blocks under your hands. Do you need blocks, AJ? You okay? Okay. Take your hands wider than your feet. You should have blocks there. And you just stay in the concave back. Have blocks and lift your chest. Have the blocks right under your shoulders and look. And you can walk the blocks all the way forwards. Walk the blocks forwards. Yes, that's a better pose for you. If you have back sensitivity, that's it. So have your heels wider than your toes. If you have back sensitivity, stay in the concave back or put your hands onto a wall. Exhale your breath, let your head go down, straighten the legs. Those of you with the ropes, lean your buttocks forwards away from the rope wall, and you'll feel how the ropes push the top of your thighs back. That's what you want to do in Uttanasana without the ropes. And you can just bring your head down level with your upper arms, like downward dog. Does that feel okay, Maiti? And just get that traction. Deepen your breath as you balance your body weight evenly on your feet. Draw your inner legs up, firm your outer hips in, and cascade the sides of your trunk down. Release your head down. Exhale your breath. That's the way. Good. Now, everybody bring your fingertips onto the floor in front of you. If that doesn't feel good, you can also just bring your hands onto your shin bones. Look upwards, lift your chest, look upwards, lift your head, concave your upper back. Now bring your hands onto the hips, reach the chest forwards, and up you come. Great. And now you guys can come out of the ropes and you can stand in Tadasana. So everybody stand in Tadasana. Those of you on the ropes, always make sure just to stagger yourselves so you're not like in a straight line. Bring your feet together, unless you need to have your feet a little bit apart for any reason. Have the inner edges of your feet parallel. And then just lift up your toes and spread them. And as you reach the toes forward, shift your body weight back into your heels, moving your thighs back, connecting your buttocks to your heels, reaching down through your arms, reach up through the sides of the trunk, reach up through the crown of the head. Tadasana your body, Tadasana your mind. Tadasana is also samasthiti, which means steady, equal, even standing. Steady, equal, even standing. Now interlace your fingers in front of your chest, turn your palms forwards and raise those arms upwards. So keeping your thighs back, straighten your arms, pull your back ribs up, your side ribs up, reach up through your wrists. That's it. And then bring your arms forwards and down. Bring your hands to the chest, lift each of your fingers, one finger upwards, turn your palms forwards and go up. That's it. Push down with your heels, push up with the palms of your hands, go back with your thighs, go in with your arms. See if you can straighten those arms even more, Abby. That's it. Even if they're a little bit forward, that's okay. Yes. Move the shoulder blades into the back. And then bring your arms forwards and down. Good. Come back to Tadasana. Now turn around and let's do another downward dog with your hands at the wall. So downward facing dog with your hands at the wall. Your inner thumbs and your inner index fingers will be at the wall. Yeah, if that blanket is in anyone's way, just move it away. That's it. And again, take your feet at least as wide as your hands, maybe as wide as your mat. And just notice the difference between downward dog with your heels at the wall, downward dog with your hands at the wall. We're trying to cultivate discernment in our practice. So it takes observation. How does a pose feel? How is it different from another variation? What does it give me? Where does it make it maybe more challenging? And then with your hands pressing into the wall, straighten your arms fully. Turn the tops of your arms out and lift your hips away from your hands and keeping your chest right where it is. Don't let your chest start to move away from your legs. Raise your heels up. Raise the heels way up. Come way up onto the metatarsals and keep moving the upper back in away from the wall where your hands are without dropping your head down. Just keep your head right in between your arms. Sometimes when we drop the head, the upper middle back starts to round. Good. And then keep this height of your hips, press the thighs back, inhale, and then reach the heels back and down. And really make an effort to get the heels all the way down. Even if they don't come down, that's the effort, that's the action. Yes, that looks good, Fran. Ankles back, shins back, lower, middle, and upper thighs all back. Exhale your breath. Good. Okay, now walk your hands back for Uttanasana. Walk the hands back to the feet. Again, have your feet either hip distance or mat distance. Use any blocks that you need. Otherwise, just put your hands up onto the wall. Have the outer edges of your feet parallel to each other. Keep your hips right over your ankles. If you're collapsing your arches, bring more weight to your outer heels. If you're overlifting your arches and dropping your outer ankle bones, press down through the big toe mounds. And then draw the inner legs up. Spread the backs of the thighs out. And as you flow down, see if this second Uttanasana, does it come any better? Is the body a little bit more used to it than that first round? Maybe the first one's a little bit more shocking. Good. Okay, and then concave your back, hands under the shoulders. that doesn't work, you can put your hands on your shin bones, lift your chest, breastbone forwards, and then bring your hands onto the hips and up you come. Great. Okay, now come onto your hands and your knees with your feet at the wall. We'll do half handstand. So half Adho Mukha Vrikshasana. So you start this way on your hands and your knees. Feel free to have a blanket for your knees. And the feet are pointed. Can you see how my feet are pointed? So that gives you a good angle. And then the hands are right under the shoulders. Turn your hands out about 45 degrees. Move from the outer hand to the inner hand. Roll the toes under and then lift up and then walk your feet up the wall. If that doesn't work for you, repeat downward dog with your heels at the wall. Repeat downward dog with your heels at the wall. Once your feet are up, see if you can, that's gorgeous, Jennifer. See if you can walk your feet down to the level of your hips and see if you can bring your feet together. But move your chest back to the wall. Move your chest back to the wall. Straightening those arms. Sydney, bring your feet a little bit higher up the wall. Yes, that's it. Good. And then come down and rest in child's pose. Big toes touching, knees apart. Extend your arms forwards. Exhale your breath. Good. Now we're going to do it again, but I want everyone to use a belt because a lot of people's arms are bending, right? So I want you to have a belt, a looped belt, and I want you to put it on your upper arms, just right above the elbow, just right above the elbow. So you have a belt for the arms. And now some of you, you can repeat half handstand. Maybe you're going to walk your hands back a little bit. So it's going to be slightly shorter. So for the second time, you can start with your feet flush against the wall, like this, flush against the wall. And then that's going to be a shorter, it's going to be a shorter position. You know, your L shape is going to be even more. And then you're kind of pushing your head through the belt. Others of you, if you have a handstand practice, practice full arm balance. Practice full arm balance with your hands, one hand's distance away from the wall, but use the belt and then kick up with the belt. That's it. Make sure the belt is, you know, about as wide as your shoulders. It should feel a little bit taut at the beginning, but when you go up, it should start to feel loose because you're squeezing your arms in. So use the belt. Don't bring it so high up, Abby. Just have it right above the elbow joint. Just right above that elbow joint. Good. So get ready. Place your hands either on your hands and your knees, maybe with your feet flush to the wall, or maybe with your, you know, feet pointed like you did that first time, and then start to go up. Yes. If you're doing full arm balance, go up. Nice. Scrub the heels up the wall. Now make the belt fall off your arms. Push your head through the belt. Push your head through the belt and make the belt fall off your arms or go in that direction. It may not fall off your arms. Get the top shoulder blade to come in. That's gorgeous, Karen. Lift your buttocks up. Lift your buttocks up. Move the chest towards the wall if you're doing half. Move the upper back away from the wall if you're doing full. You have to lift your hips way up, Abby. Lift your hips way up and push your head through the belt to the wall. Push your head through the belt towards the wall. Good. And then come down and rest in child's pose or rest in Uttanasana. Those of you who did full arm balance, you can rest in Uttanasana. Otherwise, you rest in child's pose. Okay, one more time like that. Now, those of you doing the half, you can start to work with lifting, and I want you to still to use the belt. You can start to work with lifting, you know, one leg up. So as you go up, lift one leg up, but don't overshoot the leg. Just keep it. You can even look up and you can see it. So it's kind of like an upside down Virabhadrasana 3 pose. And then you can switch on your own. Don't overshoot the leg. Okay, so one last time. Adho Mukha Vrikshasana. Those of you getting up well, go up with your less habitual leg. Push your head through the belt. Those of you doing half, maybe try Ekapada, lifting up one leg at a time. Lifting up, that's gorgeous, Marcy. Make that belt fall off your arms. So move your head through that belt, Abby, push it. See, you have the belt too high on your arms, has to come down. Push the head through the belt, lift your hips up. There you go, like that. shoulder blades in. Nice. Good. Before you get exhausted, you come down. Yes, challenge yourself without exhausting yourself. Make the belt fall off your arms, Carol Ann. Fall off, squeeze the arms in. Beautiful. And then please come down and rest in child's pose or Uttanasana. Exhale your breath. And just notice, were you thinking about the rain? No one was thinking about the rain, right? No one was thinking about the rain or anything else in your life. Isn't that true? That's the glory of yoga. Yoga brings us here to what we're doing, to the present moment. It helps us relax our regular vrittis. The vrittis are the turnings. It's a vacation. Okay, good. And now come on up. Good. Now let's rearrange the room. Bring your mats to the center. We'll do some standing poses. Those of you at home, you can also turn your mat sideways and turn towards the camera if possible, if that works for your setup, and then adjust your camera height. We'll be standing for some standing poses. So go side to side. You can have blocks on either side of your mat in case you need them. If anyone needs to be at a wall, if you're feeling a bit unsteady today or you just want some extra support, do all of these poses with your back to the wall. Okay, and then stand in Tadasana. And just feel how your body feels after those inversions, after that handstand. So doing is a big part, like when I teach the beginner series at 2 p.m. today, it's all about doing, just do. But now you guys, it's not just about doing, it's about doing and then observing, noticing, becoming a little bit more aware, right? So it is still the doing, but there's more dimensions to it. So stand in Tadasana, connect with your breath. Good, and then bring your arms forwards and up for Urdhva Hastasana. Keep rolling those outer armpits forwards. Remember the belt on your arms. You might even add that in a moment. So move the thighs back, move the top of the buttocks down, stay in your heels and bend your knees. Utkatasana. Now, if you need to bring your hands to the hips, do that. Don't let your arms come forwards. Keep your arms back. Sit down as if you're sitting into a chair. Be in your heels. Keep your eyes at eye level. Push into the heels. That's it. Good. And then straighten your arms. Straighten your legs, rather. Good. Now reach for your belt, because what happens when we do this posture is when we come down, somehow the arms start to bend. For many of us, the arms start to go askew, because I guess there's so much attention in the legs. So let's put a belt not on your upper arms, just have a belt on your wrists. This way, just on the wrists, with your palms facing inwards. So right around the wrists. I'm going to make mine a little bit tighter. So you want it to be shoulder to shoulder, unless you have shoulder sensitivity, and then you want to go wider. So stand in Tadasana. You could have the tail of the belt over to one side so it doesn't dangle in your face, and then raise your arms up. And then push out into that belt, roll those outer arms forwards. When you do that, look up at your thumbs. When you roll your triceps forwards, your thumbs should automatically start to go away from each other. Good, now keep going upwards and then go down. Utkatasana, Utkatasana. Don't let your eyes go down. Eyes at eye level, arms back, arms back. Be in your heels, sit down, break that belt, push out with that right arm, break that belt, arms back, lengthen from the hips to the hands, nice. And now straighten the knees and release. Take your feet a little bit apart, about 2 or 3 inches with the inner edges of your feet parallel. But you can have this belt over the left shoulder. We'll do Gomukhasana arms. So raise this left arm upwards. Keep reaching it up. Reach it, reach it, reach it. Turn the outer arm. Keep the arm really close. Hold the elbow and move your head back. Hold that elbow, move the head back. Now bring your right arm way out to the side. Reach it, and then turn it. And then use a little bit of momentum. Use a little bit of momentum to get that hand up your back. Yes, good. And then make sure that the right side of the trunk is lengthening. Roll the right shoulder back. Move your back ribs into your right forearm. Then lift your breastbone, move your shoulder blades in, and move your head back into your left forearm. Maybe you can get another finger or a little bit more belt. Move that dorsal spine in. That's it. And now release. Good. Move your belt to the other side as needed and raise this right arm up and keep reaching it. The more you reach it, the more freedom there is in that arm. Roll the outer armpit forwards. Keep your elbow really close to your head as you hold the elbow and you reach it upwards, pull it upwards. So try not to pull the elbow behind your head, just have it right over the shoulder. So bring that elbow out a little bit. That's it. So it's right above that shoulder. There you go. Keep your neck straight and then bring this left arm out to the side and really reach it first. Reach it, internally rotate it, and then use a little bit of momentum today to get the hand up your back. Yes. Good. So settle your body weight back into your heels, connect the buttocks to the heels, and lift a little bit more through that left side. Move your back left forearm into your back ribs and move your head back into your right forearm. Move the dorsal spine in, relax your neck and your eyes. Get a little bit more belt. Good, and then release. Great, move the belt to the side. We're going to do Utthita Trikonasana with the hand on the leg. If you need your hand on a block, have a block on the right-hand side. Bring your hands to the center of your chest. You can step your legs apart or jump your legs apart. And you just always step, my T, right? If you have lower back sensitivity, you just always step until that sensitivity is diminished. So turn your right leg out from the top of your thigh, turn your left foot in, straighten your arms and your legs, lift your chest, and then reach over, lift this arm up away from gravity, roll your left ribs back, and then bring your right hand down to your leg. That's it. And then reach up with your left arm and up you come out of the pose. That's it. So use your legs to come up. So one more time like that. So lift your chest, reach over, lift this arm up, roll the left ribs back, bring your hand down to your leg or your prop, bring your left hand onto your hip. Straighten your front leg, turn it out, and bring the right buttocks forwards. Nice Heidi, that's it. Straighten your back left leg, keep that left thigh back, and then point your left elbow back towards whatever's behind you and roll the left ribs back and bring your right chest forward without letting your right shoulder come forward. And then some of you can move your right hand a little bit further down as long as your right buttocks remains forwards. And now lift up your left arm and reach your arms away from each other. Stay in the pose. That's it, reaching the arms away from each other. Good, now reach up with that left arm and up you come out of the pose. Turn your right toes forwards, bring your hands to your hips, and take some deeper breaths in and out. Raise your arms out to the sides, turn your left leg out from the top of the thigh, turn the right foot in slightly. That's it, inhale, as you exhale, reach over, keep lifting this left arm up, rolling the right ribs back, and then just touch upon the pose. See if you have the right setup for yourself, and then reach up with that right arm and come up out of the pose. That's it. Good, so inhale, lift your chest. As you exhale, reach over, lift the left arm, roll the right ribs back. It's like you're leaning back into a wall, and then bring that hand down and bring your right hand onto the hip. Straighten your front left leg, pull your head away from your chest. So your head is helping to lengthen your spine. Bring your left buttocks forwards. Keep your right thigh back. Inhale, as you exhale, roll that right elbow back so that your right ribs roll back like a log that's rolling in a river. And then bring your left shoulder blade into the back like you just did in Gomukhasana. Yes, and now raise your right arm upwards. Yes, if your head turns organically, allow it to turn, but don't force the head to turn. Just let it become like, if it just starts to turn, enjoy that. If not, just look straight forwards or even down. Yes, straighten your arms, straighten your legs, reach up with your right arm and up you come out of the pose. Turn your left toes forwards and then bring your feet a little bit closer together, and then you can step your legs together or jump your legs back together, come back to Tadasana. Good, now a lot of you will need a block for this next one, so you can have blocks just in case at the medium level behind your feet. Okay, so stand in Tadasana. Bring your hands to the center of your chest and then step your legs apart or jump your legs wide apart. Bring your feet all the way out. Under your hands, turn your right leg out, turn your left foot in. Keep your attention in your left arm and your left leg as you bend your front knee. Get your knee right over your ankle. Get your hip to the level of your knee if you can, and then reach over, roll the left ribs back, and bring the right forearm onto the thigh, and just sweep this left arm up alongside the back of your ear and roll those left ribs back. Keep the front knee right over the ankle. Now lift up this left arm and up you come. Good, so we're gonna do that same side. Some of you can repeat that with the forearm on the leg. Okay, others of you will bring your hand down to the block or the floor. So inhale, as you exhale, bend your front knee, get it right over the ankle, go down. That's it, Alessandra, good. Now reach over, lift this arm up, roll the left ribs back. Now either bring your forearm here or bring your hand down to the block, and everybody bring your left hand onto the hip. Yes, and then settle down into your feet. Equalize the weight in your feet. So you're not just in the right foot, you're also in the outer left foot. Yes. Lift up that left inner thigh, move the right knee back. So your right knee goes back into the arms, inhale. Now again, move that left elbow back and roll the left ribs back. Roll back. Bring your right chest forwards and then sweep the top arm up alongside the back of the ear and make a nice line from your outer left foot beyond the left fingertips. Roll those left ribs back. Now lift up your left arm and up you come out of the pose. Turn your right toes forwards. Bring your hands to your hips. Deepen your breath. Good, bring your arms out to the sides. Turn your left leg out. Turn your right foot in. Let your breath flow. Inhale, as you exhale, bend your knee, get your knee right over the ankle. See if you can get your hip as low as the knee. And then reach over, lift the left, roll the right ribs back, bring this forearm onto the thigh and just sweep this arm up alongside the ear. So just kind of touch upon the pose, roll the right ribs back, top arm straight. Now lift up this top arm and up you come, out of the pose. Good. Inhale, as you exhale, bend your left knee. And then again, as you reach over, lift this arm, this left arm, roll the right ribs back, return to here. Otherwise, bring your hand down to the floor or a block and bring your right hand onto the hip. If your hand is on the floor, be on your fingertips. Be on the fingertips, don't have the palm flat. And now equalize your body weight in your left foot and your right foot. Press that outer right foot down, bring that left buttocks forwards and move your left knee back. Now inhale, as you exhale, move your right elbow back, really far back, and roll these right ribs back until you feel like your dorsal spine is coming in. That's it. And then take your top arm up alongside the back of the ear. Keep lifting the right inner leg up. Reach from your outer right foot to the right fingertips. Roll the right ribs back. Move your upper arm a little bit back behind your ear. There you go. Now lift up your right arm. Nice, AJ. And then come up out of the pose. Turn your left toes forwards, bring your feet a little bit closer together, and then step or jump your legs back together, Tadasana. Good, now have your blocks on this side of your mat, the right side of your mat. Okay, and then we're going to just take downward dog for a moment with your hands. Have your hands on medium blocks. If you have softer blocks and they feel unstable, go down to the lowest level. And then we're gonna bring the right leg forward for lunge pose. So bring your right leg forwards in between the blocks. Yeah, there's some back in the closet there, Sydney, there, right there. Good. So make sure that your feet are about hip distance apart and focus on your back leg. Is it possible to move your left toes any further back so that your left heel is not further back than your toes? You don't want your back foot like downward dog. Yeah, you want your back foot as if it was flush into a wall. And then lift up your left inner thigh, look forwards, and reach the breastbone forwards and the left heel backwards. That's it. Keep your outer right knee coming back into that outer right hip, breastbone forwards. Have your hands flat to the blocks. Good. Now bring your right leg back into downward dog and bring your left leg forward. Left leg comes forward into a lunge. Get your left ankle right under the knee. Make sure the knee isn't coming past the ankle. And then see if you can walk your right toes back a little bit so that your right heel isn't further back than the toes. Yes, it's like your back foot, the bottom of your back foot is flush against a wall. And then focus on that back leg. Lift that inner right leg upwards. Keep reaching back through that right heel. But now pull your breastbone forwards. Bring your hands flat to those blocks and lift your chest forwards. Go in 2 different directions. Good. Now bring your hands flat and bring your left leg back. Great. Okay, and then walk forwards towards your blocks. Bring your hands to your hips and come on up. Now move the blocks to the side and we're going to practice Virabhadrasana 1. Okay, so stand in Tadasana. Good. Bring your hands to the center of your chest and either step your legs apart or jump your legs wide apart. Bring your feet all the way out under the hands. Bring your hands to the hips. Turn your left foot in and move your left heel further back. Turn your right leg out and turn to the right. If you need something under that back heel, make sure to put something under that back heel. You could even have your back heel at a wall. Yeah, you can take any restorative pose, Kim. You can take Supta Virasana if you can, if that's a good pose for you. So stand on your back leg, press the outer left heel down, move the inner left knee back. It's all about that back leg, just like it was for those lunges. And bring your tailbone down. That's it. And now bend your front knee to a square. Bend your front knee and bring your knee right over your ankle. See if you can get your right hip as low as the knee without letting your right hip swing out to the side. And then if you have room, bring your arms out to the sides like an airplane. Bring your left ribs way forwards, Carol Ann. Left ribs, way forwards. Lift your arms a little bit higher than your shoulders, but relax your back upper neck muscles down and move your arms a little bit back behind you. So you feel like your chest muscles are broadening, the pectoral muscles. Tailbone is forward, nice to knees, that's it. And now straighten that front knee. That's it, bring your hands to the hips. We're going to do that same side. So stay there. Maybe you can move your left foot a little bit further back. Some of you keep your hands on the hips or bring your arms out to the sides. Others of you, roll your triceps forwards and raise your arms up. Raise those arms up. Have your palms facing each other. Otherwise, work with your hands on your hips or your arms out to the sides. Legs are straight. Stand on your back leg. Inner left leg back. Bring the tailbone down. Reach from the armpits to the pinky fingers if your arms are upwards, and now bend your front knee. Virabhadrasana 1. As you bend your front knee, go back into your back leg. Go down with your hips. Bring your left ribs forwards. Yes, tailbone down towards the floor. Very good. And now come on up. Turn your right toes forwards. Nancy, watch that your right knee doesn't come past the ankle. Maybe take a slightly longer distance. Okay, so turn your right foot in and move your right heel back. Turn your left leg out. Have a heel to heel alignment. If you need something under that back foot, take it and then bend your left knee. Bend your left knee. Yes, get your knee right over the ankle. And then once you have that, keep your left hip in, aligned with your left knee, straighten your back leg, and then maybe bring your arms out to the sides, Vimanasana pose. Raise your arms a little bit higher than your shoulders, but keep softening the back upper neck muscles down and move your arms a little bit back. So you feel like the chest is broadening, the back armpit is coming towards the front armpit. Move your arms further back, my T. That's it. Now straighten your front knee, bring your hands to the hips, stay in that same direction. We'll do it again. That's it. Straighten the front leg. Straighten it. Come out of the pose. Straighten the legs. Hands to the hips. Good. Now choose your hand position. Either keep your hands on your hips, bring your arms out again, or revolve your arms and raise your arms all the way up. Stand on your back leg. Take that inner right leg back, right ribs forwards. Inhale, and then bend your front knee to a square. And as you go down with the front leg, go back with the back leg, go down with your hips, lift your back ribs up, bring your right ribs forwards. Move the tailbone towards the floor. Nice, everybody. And now come on up, turn your left toes forwards, bring your feet a little bit closer together, and then step or jump your legs back together. Nice. Now bring your heels to the back edge of your mat. And just bring your arms out to the sides and take your feet wide apart. Even wider than you've been today. Have your heels wider than your toes a little bit, so the outer edges of your feet are parallel. Bring your hands to your hips. Lift up through the sides of the chest. Roll the shoulders back. Use your thumbs to move the top of the buttocks down. As you slowly come forwards, keep your elbows parallel. Look forwards, lengthening that front body. Bring your hands down to the floor or blocks and lift your chest. Concave your back. Good. Now, some of you, once you have that front body lengthening, shoulder blades in, you can walk your hands forward like downward dog. Others of you, bend your elbows, walk your hands back, and rest your head on the floor. So hands forward is a little bit more forgiving. So take that if you need to. Otherwise, walk your hands back. Keep your hands and your elbows as wide as the shoulders. Even out your body weight on your 2 feet. That looks really good, Tammy. Lift your kneecaps and spread the legs out. Walk your hands further forward, Abby and Mighty. Mighty, let your head come down in between your arms. Yeah, like down dog. Yeah, that's better. Abby, see if you can take your legs wider. Look at Carol Ann, look upwards at her hands. Have your hands like hers. And if your head doesn't, no, look at her hands. Have your hands like hers. Right in front of you, right there. Yeah, that's it. And make sure to put something under your head if it's still not down on the floor. Straighten your legs, flow the sides of the trunk down, lift the shoulders up. Nice. Okay, now lift up your head and your chest and walk your hands either backwards or forwards. Bring your feet a little bit closer together. Bring your hands to your hips and up you come. Join your feet in Tadasana and just absorb the effects of the standing poses. How did they come today? Do they feel good? Do they feel hard? You know, see how they feel without any sense of judgment or comparison. Okay, and then release. Those of you who practice head balance, get ready for head balance. So of course you can be at a wall. If you're in the center, you can be in the center. Okay. And before you go up, I want to start, working on something. So just get ready. Those of you doing headstand, you can just get ready, but don't go up. Those of you not doing headstand today, get a bolster and you'll sit in front of the bolster with crossed legs and you'll take Supta Svastikasana. So lie down on a bolster and you can hold your elbows. What's that? Sure, as long as your elbows are not going to flip. Okay, so just those of you doing head balance, I want you to start coming up. This way, so watch. So when you first learn head balance, so just watch. When you first learn head balance, of course, we learn it with the knuckles at the wall. And of course, you bring the head down. And then you just go up with one leg and then the other leg. That's how we learn, right? So now what I want you to do from here is maybe if you're at the wall or even in the center, you can give a slight hop and then go up with 2 legs and bring your feet to the wall. Do you see now you're going with 2 legs? So try to advance to going up with 2 legs. And of course, you can have 2 legs bent and then you just raise the legs up the wall. If you're in the center, you bring your knees a little bit back. So your knees have to come back a little bit. So see how my feet go back? That's what happens if you're in the center. And then you can go up from there. But try it with 2 legs bent. And then eventually you go up with 2 legs straight. If that's just not happening, go up with 1 leg again. That's fine. If you're not there today, go up with 1 leg. Otherwise, try going up with 2 legs at the wall or in the center. Otherwise, you're in Supta Svastikasana. So get ready, interlace the fingers, bring on the crown of your head, press the whole forearm down, and then give a slight hop. That's it, Tammy, and go up with 2 legs. You got it. That's great. It's kind of fun, isn't it? To go up with 2 legs. It's more symmetrical. It's easier on your back, believe it or not, because then you don't have to lift one leg up and then the other leg up. That can put some pressure on the SI joints over time if you keep doing it all the way like that. That's it, NJ. Good. And then go up. You got it. Great. So just once you're in your pose, find your foundation. That's it. So go. That's it. Try it again, Natalie. Come down. Okay, so walk in, lift your shoulders, give a slight hop and bring your feet to the wall. That's it, that's it. Okay, that's good. That's a good try. Now go up with one leg and then the other leg. Great. So those of you in the head balance, make sure that your knuckles feel connected like the webbing of your hands, but your fingers are kind of relaxed. They're just reaching. Don't be hard in your fingers. And do softly press your thumb pads into the back of your head. Softly press the thumb pads into the back of the head and get the little finger side of the wrist to go down. And then move your shoulder blades into the back and extend through the sides of your trunk. Roll your legs in and reach your legs upwards. Those of you in Supta Swastikasana, you got it, Karen, you're almost there. Go up. You're there, Karen, go up. That's it. Bring your feet to the wall first and then go up. That's fine. Okay, good. There you go. That's it. Okay, now those of you with cross legs, switch the cross of your legs and of course, switch the cross of your arms. Good. Now, those of you in headstand, see if you can take your legs about 2 or 3 inches apart, just like when we were standing in Tadasana with the legs a little bit apart. So not really wide, but just a little bit. And see what that gives you. See if it gives you any more space. So roll the legs inwards, the fronts of the thighs roll in, and lengthen your inner legs all the way up to your inner heels and your big toe mounts. Remember how we were reaching the arms up when we were doing Gomukhasana? Feel like you're reaching your legs up. And now lift your buttocks to your heels. Connect the buttocks to the heels. Yes, and then see if you can bring your legs back together, maintaining that. Relax your eyes and your jaw and your tongue. Shirsasana, headstand. Okay, now headstanders, keep your shoulders lifting well. Okay, and then see if you can, those of you at the wall, you'll just bend your knees, bring your feet to the floor. See if you can come down with 2 legs, Natalie. That's a good way to start. Bring your feet to the wall, bring your knees in. That's it. And then slowly go down. Bring your knees towards your chest and lightly bring your toes down. There you go. Nice. Everybody, well done. And then you can come down, Sydney, as well. Just bend your knees into Urdhva Virasana and then come into Akunchasana. That's it. And then bring your toes down. And rest in child's pose. Those of you on your back, just stretch out your legs and rest your arms at your sides. So you're in a supported Shavasana. Okay, and then slowly come back to the standing pose setup of the room. So your mats go sideways and we'll come back to that. So as far as your sequencing goes, what do you think is a good category of postures to do after headstand? Why? Okay, yeah. So yeah, forward bends are an option, but a good thing to do after your headstand, or maybe you did more inversions. Maybe you did forearm stand as well, right? Or you did, a good thing to do is back bends, right? Back bends. So back bends come really well after inversions. Back bends usually are sequenced after inversions. And then forward bends are sequenced later on, even after shoulder stand, forward bends can come really well, right? So you're wanting to become aware of you're sequencing, how you're sequencing poses, because that really affects your consciousness. It's not just like put together, it's a real recipe that the Iyengars have put together for us. So we're gonna do some gentle sun salutations, okay? So now if you don't wanna do sun salutations, I understand if you have an aversion to sun salutations and you don't wanna move past the inversion today, that's okay. So you can do Supta Baddha Konasana. So you'll lie down again, but maybe you can take a horizontal bolster. You can have a block for your head, and you can take a blanket and put it around your legs. And you can take this pose, Supta Baddha Konasana, horizontal. Okay, if you don't want to do sun salutations. Otherwise, have your blocks this way at the flattest level, kind of like we did for the lunges, but now we're having the blocks at the flat level. And I'll just show the first version. So you just stand like a little bit with your feet like in line with the back of the blocks. The feet are just in line with the back of the blocks. So Tadasana, Urdhva Hastasana, Uttanasana, and then you can step back into downward dog. Some of you can, as long as the blocks are stable, you can jump back into downward dog. And then from downward dog, we come into upward dog with the toes rolled under. Toes rolled under, legs straight, and then back into downward dog. And then you can step or you can jump forwards, lighter than I just did. And then you bring your hands to the hips and you come up. Okay, so get ready. So stand a little bit, so your toes are in line with the blocks, the back edge of the blocks, feet together. However, you can have your feet a little bit apart if that's better for you. If Uttanasana doesn't come so well, have your feet a little bit apart, that's fine. So be in Tadasana, and then with your inhalation, raise your arms upwards, Urdhva Hastasana, and with your exhalation, bend forwards, Uttanasana, hands on blocks, good. And now, step your right and left leg back or jump back. Step your right and left leg back or jump back, downward dog. Have your feet at least as wide as your hands, and then come into upward dog, upward facing dog. Get your shoulders over your wrists. Make sure they're not behind your wrists. Straighten your legs, lift your side body. Good, now go back into downward dog. Nice, good. And then once again, either step your right and left leg up or bend your knees and jump forwards. Head down, Uttanasana, hands to the hips, reach the chest forwards and up you come. Very good, we'll do that again. So stand in Tadasana. Have your feet either together or a little bit apart as needed for your Uttanasana. Connect with your breath. Just observe how do the sun salutations come? Do you have an aversion to them? Do you have an attachment to them? Do you really love them a lot? So raise your arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, head down. That's it. And either step or left and right leg back or jump back. That's it, Karen. Good. Now, upward facing dog. Keep your heels reaching backwards. Lift your side chest. Yes. And now go back into downward dog. Abby, you have to take a shorter dog because it looked like it was going into your back. Good. And then step your left and right leg up or jump up. Head down, Uttanasana. Bring your hands to the hips, reach the chest forwards, and up you come. Excellent. Good. Now we're going to add one thing. We're going to add Chaturanga Dandasana. So I'm going to use a bolster here, just because some of you will need to have a bolster. So watch what I do. I have a bolster right there. So when I come, we'll do all of that work. We'll go back. And of course, the bolster, you'll touch it when you come into upward dog. But when you come into Chaturanga, and actually let's have this bolster all the way up here in between the blocks. When you come down into Chaturanga, you can have your body on that bolster, which feels really nice if you're not used to it. If you're not using the bolster, just make sure that your chest doesn't go lower. You just want to bring your chest level with the elbows, and then you'll come back into upward dog. So Chaturanga, upward dog, and then downward dog. So if you have any doubt, if you're not used to that pose, have a bolster and have the top of the bolster right at the top of the blocks. That's it. And then stand around the bolster with your toes behind the blocks. Of course, if you're using the bolster, your feet will be apart. Good. So stand in Tadasana. Now raise your arms upwards, Urdhva Hastasana, Exhale, Uttanasana, head down. Step or jump back, downward dog. That's it. Upward facing dog, upward dog. Yes. That's it. Now chaturanga, chaturanga. Look forwards, elbows, shoulders up, shoulders up. Don't lift your buttocks. Good. And then go back into upward dog, and then downward dog. Great. Step or jump forwards. Uttanasana, head down. Take a breath there. Exhale your breath. Yes, bring your hands to the hips. Reach the chest forwards and up you come. Okay, let me show some things about chaturanga, right? So chaturanga is kind of like a plank pose. So you know how this is called half chaturanga. It's plank, right? So when I come into chaturanga, I want to keep that flatness. Some of you are doing this. You're dropping the shoulders and lifting the buttocks. Do you guys see that? So this has to come down and this has to come up. So it's more like a plank. And you can just rest here. So now I can really get the shape. Does it look okay? The buttocks is back, the shoulders are moving back. So just use the bolster to understand the pose. And then once you have the strength, you can do it. One last time, get ready. One last time, stand in Tadasana. That's it, and bring your arms down. Now raise your arms upwards. Exhale, Uttanasana, head down. Step or jump back. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward dog. Take a shorter dog, Abby. Yeah, that's it. Now chaturanga, chaturanga. Better, Jennifer. That's it. Lift those shoulders. Beautiful. Now upward dog. So much better. That's it. Upward dog. Straighten your arms. Straighten your arms. Yes. And now downward dog. Downward dog. Nice. Step or jump forwards. Uttanasana, head down. That's the way. Exhale your breath. Take your feet wider if you need to. Now bring your hands onto the hips. Reach the chest forwards and up you come. Very good. Okay, now come onto your abdomen. Let's put a blanket down. So you just take like a shoulder stand blanket and then open it up one more time. And you put it across your mat sideways and then come onto your pelvis. Those of you at home, make sure to move your cameras down to the floor. And just keep your hands right alongside your chest. You can rest your forehead down. So line up your thumbs with the nipple band of your chest. Take some breaths here. Just observe how it feels to be on your abdomen. And then focus on your right leg. Lift your right leg up from the inner leg and reach it backwards. And lift your inner right leg faster than your outer right leg, and then bring the middle of your right thigh down. And then do that same thing with your left leg. Lift it up, reach it back, be on the center of your thigh. That's it. And now bring both of the tops of your feet down. All 10 of your toenails are on the floor. And then move the buttocks towards the heels until you feel like your pubic bone moves towards the blanket that's under your pelvis. And now with your hands, without lifting up too much, so you're not going into upward dog, you just kind of want to lift up a little bit and pull your t-shirt skin forwards. So unwrinkle the front of your t-shirt, pull that skin forward, move your abdominal skin forwards. That's it. And now bring your forehead down, bend your knees and reach back and hold on to the tops of your feet. Hold on to the tops of your feet. If you cannot do that, just bend your knees and reach your arms backwards without holding on. Yes. Now make sure that your knees don't get wider than your hips or not too much wider. And ask yourself, did my pubic bone start to leave the blanket? See if you can hold on to the sides of the feet. There you go, that's it. So move the pubic bone down, good. Now inhale, as you exhale, press your feet backwards into your hands and start to lift your chest upwards. Lift your chest, lift your front ribs up. That's it, Abby. Lift the front ribs up, push the feet back. Lift the front ribs up, go back into your legs, move the pubic bone down, push the feet back, and then come down and rest. You can let go of the legs. That's it. Feel free to put your hands under the head or turn your head or just keep your forehead down, whatever gives you the most relief. So Dhanurasana, bow pose. So bring your arms back alongside your body, bend your knees. And then reach back and hold on to the outer tops of your feet. And if it's coming well, start to move your hands a little bit more towards your ankles. Move your hands down towards your ankles, or even the tops of the lower part of the shin bone. Good. Now make sure that your pubic bone is still in a relationship with the blanket. The fronts of your thighs are lengthening. Press your feet back into your hands. Pull your shoulders back and lift your front ribs off the floor. Lift the front ribs off the floor. You have to use your legs. Now, once you have that, use your hands and lift your thighs up. Lift the front. That's it, Natalie. Lift the fronts of your thighs off the floor. Point your feeling. So front ribs and thighs go up. Pubic bone goes down. Shoulder blade goes in. Nice. And now come down and rest. Those were nice. Dhanurasana. One more time like that. So be on the center of your thighs. Reach back and hold. And again, some of you now, it's coming pretty well. So walk your hands down towards your ankles or the lower part of the shin bones. Lengthen the fronts of the thighs. Lengthen from your outer hips to your outer knees so that your knees don't get super wide apart. Find that relationship of the pubic bone moving down. Move your shoulder blades into the back. Press your feet back and lift your shoulders and your front ribs. And then use your hands and pull your legs upwards. Pull your thighs off the floor. Move the pubic bone down. Nice, Abby. Relax your face and your jaw. Push your feet back. Lift the front ribs. Lift your thighs. Nice. And then come down. Great. Come up onto your shin bones. We'll do Ustrasana. So you can use this blanket either from your knees to the tops of the feet. That's fine. Otherwise, you can just have from your ankles to the knees. And for me, I actually like to fold the blanket up one more time because I like a little bit more thickness there. So you can choose to do that as well. And then put a block in between your feet at the widest level to keep a distance there. And you can start with a bolster here. Okay. Ustrasana. So use the block. Yeah, that's fine. Use the block in between your feet to have some awareness of the feet. We kind of, whenever we're doing back bends, we kind of lose consciousness of the legs. So press the shins down. Make sure that you're on the little toe side of the foot. Bring your hands onto your hips. And like we did in Prasarita padottanasana, use your thumbs to traction the top of the buttocks down. And like we were doing in Warrior One, move the tailbone down towards the floor. Lengthen the fronts of the thighs towards the knees. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. Some of you can just keep your hands on your hips and stay here. Otherwise, bring your hands back to the bolster with your fingernails backwards. Fingernails going backwards. That's it. Press your shin bones down. Bring the middle buttocks forwards. Middle buttocks forwards. That's it. And then relax the sides of your neck and let your head go back. Let's move this even higher up. Yeah, that's it on the side. You feel how that's a little bit higher? Yeah, that's good, right on the height. That's it, good. Does that feel okay? That looks good. Now press your shin bones down, bring your hands to the hips and come up. Feel free to stay up on your shins or sit down on the bolster for a moment. Good. Now, if you know you don't need the bolster, take the bolster away. If you can reach your fingertips to your heels, then you don't need the bolster, okay? Reach your toes backwards, hug the brick with your feet. Make sure the feet are straight. Sometimes the heels move in or out. Keep the feet nice and straight. Bring your hands onto the hips so that the thumbs are going in towards each other and the thumbs are right at the top of the buttocks, that sacral band. Move the top of the buttocks down. Lift the sides of the trunk, roll the shoulders back, arch back. Maybe that's as far as you're going. Otherwise, bring your hands back to the bolster, fingernails backwards, but then let your hips come forwards, hips forwards. There you go, Fran. Relax the sides of your neck, lift your shoulder blades. Bring the back armpit to the front armpit. Open up the chest. Nice, Denise. That's it. Hips forwards. Beautiful. Okay, and then come up, pressing the shin bones down. Feel free to stay up or sit down. We'll do it one more time. Okay, one more time, Ustrasana. Stand up on your shin bones, activate your legs. Press the shin bones down. Lengthen the fronts of the thighs, bring your hands onto the hips. With the thumbs going inwards, inhale, use your exhalation to traction that buttocks flesh down, lengthen the sides of the trunk, roll the shoulders back, take your hands back to the bolster or to the feet. Yes, is this feeling okay? Good. If you can bring your palms to your heels, go for it. Palms to the heels, but don't let your hips go back. Bring your hips forwards. The hips come forwards, forwards, forwards. There you go. Lift your shoulder blades up. Lift your breastbone up to the ceiling. Think of your breastbone like a shiny jewel, a sparkling jewel. Yes, and then press your shin bones down and come up. And now you can everybody sit down and just rest and feel the effects of Ustrasana. And just notice, do you have an attachment to that pose or an aversion to that pose? Great, and then slowly come on up and grab your chair, get your chair. And we'll have the back of the chair going this way. And I'll also give an option if you don't have a chair at home. Okay, so get your chair. The back of the chair will be going towards the exit there. And the chair is just right in the center of your mat. Center of your mat. Now I'm going to show it today without anything on the chair. I'm just going to show with the steel. If that bothers you, then put another sticky mat over the chair. You could even use a blanket. The thing with the blanket is that it tends to slide. So just be aware. You could use a blanket or you could use a sticky mat if this bothers you. Sometimes it's nice to have the texture of the steel on the chair. So watch what I do. So we're not using the wall today. We're just right in the middle. So I'm just coming here. I lift my hips up and I move my hips so that the back of the chair hits my sacrum. I lift up and then I want to bring the shoulder blades onto the front lip of the chair. And then this is the first position. Just take your head back. If you need something under your head, you can put a block under your head there. You can put a block right under your head. You might even have to stack 2 blocks up, one on top of each other, if you need a block. If you don't need the block, of course, don't use that. Just let your head hang back like Ustrasana. So this is the first position. I'm just pulling down and I'm coiling over. Now watch as I come up. I move my hips this way. I press my elbows down and I lead with my chest to come up. Okay, so let's get ready. Get ready for that. We're not straightening the legs for the first one. Again, if you need padding over the chair, put an extra sticky mat or even a blanket. Just make sure that, just be aware that the blanket might move. Okay, so hold on to the sides of the seat of the chair, move your hips towards the back of the chair, even off the back of the chair if you have a longer torso. And then hold on to the sides of the chair, lift your chest, and then start to go back and bring the bottom tip of the shoulder blades over the chair. The bottom tip of the shoulder blade comes over the chair. Yes. So for the ladies, or anyone who's wearing a bra, it's right where the bra line is, right where the bra line. That's it. So bring your hands down to the joint of the chair, right to the joint of the chair. Have your elbows below the chair seat. That's it. So your hands are outside and your hands are above. There you go. And make sure if you need that head support, you have the head support. Are you reaching it? If you don't reach it, you can put another block under that block. That's your block. So make sure to have head support. You can always come up and down and get the right support for yourself. There you go. Does that feel okay? Great. Good. Mm-hmm. That's good. So make sure that you're lengthening your buttocks flesh towards the knees. And then have a sense of pulling the chair down into the floor, into the sticky mat. and coiling your upper back over the chair. Coil the upper back over the chair. Yes. Good. Relax the sides of your neck, relax your jaw and your tongue. Allow your spine to extend. Good. Now, slide a little bit more towards the head side of your chair. Bring your elbows into the chair seat and come up. Lead with your chest, not your neck. Try not to come up with your neck or your head. Yes, sit back, take some deeper breaths in and out, and observe the effects. How does it feel? How is it for you, Carol Ann? Is it okay? Okay, good. Okay, so watch what I do. You can just stay right there. So now, once you're there, some of you can stay in that same position. Watch. Others of you, once you're here, you can stretch out your legs. Stretch out the legs, rolling the legs in, pressing the legs down. And then once you have that, you can bring your hands to your heart center and extend your arms over your head. So you're in a nice full extension. If that's too much, please stay here. Okay, get ready. Lift, bring your hands onto the seat of the chair. Move your hips towards the back of the chair. That's it. Hold on to the sides of the chair. Lift your chest and go back. That's it. Come to that first position and get settled. Lengthening the buttocks flesh, lengthening the sides of the trunk from the hips to the underarms. Have your feet about hip distance apart. Have a sense of pulling the chair down. That's it. Now, anyone with back sensitivity, this is as far as you go. You just stay here, okay? You might be able to stretch out your legs, but you're not going to bring your arms up over. Some of you can straighten out your legs with your heels down and your toes up. If your feet come off the floor, keep your feet bent. Keep your knees bent. Yes, good. Toes are upwards. Toes are up. Press the thighs down and roll them in. Yes, don't lose your legs. Stay in your legs. Now, some of you can stay here. Others of you, bring your hands to your heart center. Inhale, and then exhale. Extend your arms up over your head. Let your hands come apart, and your palms will be upwards. That's beautiful, Marcy. So get as long as you can. Bring your hands closer to the floor, friend. Bring your fingernails towards the floor, like that. There you go. That's it. Extend from your heels to your fingernails. Keep the buttocks going towards the heels and the sides of your hips to your outer feet. And then from the sides of your hips, go all the way up towards your hands. So you're like coming from the center of your body into your back extension. Relax the sides of your neck, relax your jaw, relax your tongue. Good. Now bend your knees, bring your hands alongside the chair. That's it. Move towards the head side just a little bit. Bring your elbows into the chair seat. Use your elbows. Lead with your chest to come up, not your neck or your head. Great. Most of you are going to be repeating that. Watch. Some of you are going to be doing this. So once you're in your pose, and I'll probably lose this earbud. So those of you at home, you can just observe. So most of you will be repeating this one, right? But others of you, you'll keep the knees bent. You come a little bit further off the chair. For both the second and the third one, you come a little bit further off. So now my shoulder blades are off. I'm letting my head hang down, and I bring my hands onto the floor. And maybe that's as far as you go. So now you're in the shape of Urdhva Dhanurasana. Some of you can even turn your hands out, and you can press your hands down, and you can lift up into Urdhva Dhanurasana. Okay, and then you come back down. Okay, otherwise you just take the shape or you stay in the previous one. Get ready. Okay, so move your hips towards the back of the chair, lift your chest, and then go back. And then even just notice when you watch that demonstration, what happened in your mind? Did you have an aversion? Did you have fear, right? So some of you are just staying here for now. Others of you, you can straighten your legs and go to that last one we did. Straighten your legs and raise your arms upwards. You can stay there. Others of you, keep your knees bent. Bring your hand, slide a little bit further out of the chair and bring your hands down to the floor. If your hands are on the floor, your knees are bent. Yes, place your hands flat on the floor. And if your hands are not flat, that's as far as you can go because we're not using blocks or anything. Karen, that looks amazing. Good, now turn your feet inwards. Turn your hands outwards. Turn your hands out. Press your feet down. Press your hands down and lift up off the chair. Lift up, be in your legs, be in your legs. That's it. Straighten your arms. Nice. That's it. Very good, Sydney. And then come down. Do it one more time. You're too far out of the chair, Jennifer. Do it one more time. Those of you who are down, if you had enough, just come back to one of the previous positions. Press your feet down, press your hands down, turn your hands outwards and lift your hips up. Lift those hips upwards. That's it, Sydney. Beautiful. Straighten those arms. Yes, nice. Natalie, exactly. Thank you. Thank you. That's beautiful. Okay, and then come down. Very good. Okay, now bring your hands to the sides of the chair. Press your elbows in and come up. Very good, everybody. Stay nice and tall. Great. Sit far enough back in the chair so that your knees can be right over your ankles, and then hug the chair legs with your heels. Hug the chair legs with your inner heels, and then turn to your right side. Turn to the right side. Yes, turn to the right. So your left forearm comes over the back of the chair. See if you can bring your right hand behind your left buttocks on the seat of the chair. Draw your abdomen back, and as you hug the chair legs with your heels, press your thigh out. The left thigh goes back. Now turn with your right hand first. Try to pull up the chair seat. Roll that right shoulder blade into your back. Lift your chin up, and then come back to the center, and then turn to the left. Turn to the left side. So bring your right forearm over. Bring your left hand somewhere behind your right buttocks, and then hug the chair legs with your feet and press your right thigh out into the side of the chair. That's it. Lift up through the sides of your trunk, turn your abdomen, turn your ribs. Good. One more time on the first side. Just be in your own practice. Turn to the right. That's it. Keep your legs active, pressing the legs out, hugging the heels in, turning the abdomen, turning the ribs, walking the right hand maybe further back. Yes, and then turn to the other side. That's the way. Good. Use your breath. Turn a little bit more. Nice. Okay, and then release. Okay, now for chair shoulder stand, you will need to have your sticky mat on your mat. So take your sticky mat up. Fold it in half, and then fold it in half again. And have it on your chair seat. You can always add an extra blanket in between here if you have a longer torso. That's what I do. I just put an extra blanket in between there, so it gives you a little bit more height and also a little bit more padding. And then have another blanket this way in front. Put the two chair legs on the blanket so it doesn't move. And have the bolster here. Okay, for chair shoulder stand. So make sure this is all the way at the edge. Even a little bit over the edge is helpful. And we're going to do this stage first. Now, if you're not doing this chair shoulder stand, you're going to be doing Viparita Karani with your legs up the wall. So watch what I do when I come in. You can just go back. This should come nicely because we've done all those back bends. Just take some time here to organize your bolster. Now we're going to bring the arms through. And I just want you to do this version first with your legs straight. And that might feel really nice after the back extensions. And then we'll go up into the Viparita Karani version. And then we'll come into padottanasana. Okay, so get ready. Otherwise, you're doing your legs up the wall on some height. So take some time with your legs wrapped over the back of the chair to organize the position of your bolster. It should be under your shoulders and a little bit of your neck. So your neck isn't just hanging there. Your legs have to go over the back. Yeah, that's it. And then thread your arms through and walk your hands down as low as you can. And then straighten your legs over the back of the chair. Slide a little bit further out of the chair. Bring your shoulders down and bring your arms through. Does that feel okay? Straighten your legs. Yes or no? Yeah?
Yes.
Good, yes. So make the legs straight, roll the legs in and lengthen them. Turn the tops of the arms out. Nice. Relax the sides of your neck. So there's no tension there. Roll these legs in, yes. Allow your lower back to get kind of tractioned, right? By the seat of that chair, pulling the buttocks flesh. So it's kind of nice to do sometimes after back extensions. And then you can bring your feet to the back of the chair, pause there, and just take a moment and lift your chest even more. So turn the biceps out and bring the shoulder blades into the back, and then stretch your legs straight up. Stretch your legs straight up. There you go. That's good what you're doing, Nancy. That's great. Yeah, that's good. Rolling those thighs in. Just have your palms facing each other. This way. Yeah, that's it. Good. Does that feel okay? Do you have a good grip? Is it okay? Good. Keep relaxing the sides of the neck. Janie, bring your legs a little bit more towards your face. They're leaning back towards the back of the chair. Bring your legs towards your face. Yeah, that's it. Now they're right above. Marcy, see if you can straighten your legs even more. That's it. Your legs are leaning a little bit to the left, Kimberly. Yeah, have your legs right above the hips. Good. Relax the sides of the neck. Deepen your breath. Good, now bend your knees and bring your feet to the back of the chair. Keep your feet together, let your knees open. Lift your heels up, lower your toes down. And if this pose feels really good to you, see if you can get this pose, this feeling, this bhavana. Bhavana means feeling or presence. Get this feeling in poses that are less, that don't feel as well. Can you have this feeling in chaturanga? That would be a good goal, right? Or this feeling in Urdhva Dhanurasana. Or this feeling in headstand. So you can use poses that feel really well to teach you about poses that don't come so well just yet. That's it. Good. Now bring your hands to the front legs of the chair. Try not to move the chair, but rather move your body back. Bring your feet to the seat of the chair and let your hips rest on the bolster and let your legs rest on the chair. Good, now take that bolster out from under your hips. And we're just gonna do one more pose before Savasana. So you can sit on your bolster, move your bolster back a little bit so your shins can be crossed on this blanket. You can probably take this off and then just come forwards. Make sure that you're sitting towards the back of your bolster. And just rest your forearms. It's not going to be your deepest forward bend, but just let your back go to a more rounded position. Release the legs. Make sure the weight isn't coming into the knees. And then come up and switch the cross of your legs. And then go forwards again. Really let loose the legs. Breathe into the back body. Okay, and then slowly come up. For Savasana, you can still use this blanket here. If you want to undo your mat, if that feels better, that's fine. Otherwise, you can just lie down on this blanket, put your legs over the chair, and you can put the bolster over your body, and you can have another blanket under your head and your neck as needed. And then just push away any props you don't need to touch. If you want to cover your eyes, cover your eyes. Shavasana with the chair support. Make sure the chair is all the way up into the backs of the knees. And just take a few moments to get nice and settled, choosing the props you need, pushing away the other props that are not needed for this pose. And now just relax the momentum from the class. There's kind of a forward movement in the class. Now relax that forward movement and let go your legs and your arms completely. Soften the skin of your face, especially the places you tend to hold tension, maybe in your forehead, in between your eyebrows, around your eyes, around your mouth, your neck. Draw the eyes back, draw the ears in. Rest your brain towards your heart. This is from an ancient yogic text. I am eternal. I am pure. I am ever liberated. I am formless, indestructible, changeless. I am the nature of infinite peace. I am the very self, indestructible, changeless. Now bring your hands onto your body and begin to deepen your breath. Move your bolster to the left and then roll to your right side. Be careful not to disturb your chair. Just bring your legs away from your chair. And then slowly come on up to sit. And bring your hands to your heart center. Raise your chest upwards. And let's join our voices, our hearts, our energies. And as we chant Om Shanti Om, let's have it not just be for ourselves, but the world around us, our loved ones, our family, our friends, everything we have to be grateful for in this life. Let's chant for that. Inhale. Shanti. Om. Namaste. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you so much for coming in the rain. Thank you for coming. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Great weekend and happy Thanksgiving. If I don't see you, have a most beautiful holiday. You're welcome, you guys.
Thank you, Edwin.
Thank you.
You're welcome.